Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to your Saturday morning messages with me, Michelle. I am here to help you along your awakening journey, whether you're grieving, experiencing great change in your life. I am happy to have you here to share these messages with you. These messages all come from a divine source. I am just the messenger, and I am so happy to be here sharing this space with you all. All right, let's start today. Today feels a little different for me. Meaning like actually today, not just in this video. I woke up feeling just a little bit of a heaviness on my chest. So I'm going to start with just a few conscious breaths. I'm going to breathe in through my nose and have my belly go out. And then I'm going to hold it for a little bit. And then I'm going to exhale out. I usually do 4 counts in, hold for 4 counts, 4 counts out, hold out for 4. So I invite you all to do this with me. I like to put my hands on my chest and my belly so I can make sure that I'm really getting deep into my belly. So remember, as you breathe in, your belly goes out. All right, here we go. That was my first clearing breath. All right. All right. So nice and calm, right? And if you can train yourself to do that kind of breathing anytime throughout your day, whether you just get in your car after being somewhere and it's very hectic, or you were just around somebody that didn't have like ideal energy, you can kind of quickly recenter yourself by doing that breathing. It's also great to do when you're starting to have any sort of anxiety or panic, because what's happening is your body is super smart. And it's also not very smart because when you're in your panic, your body doesn't know the difference between whether something's actually chasing you and trying to hurt you, or whether it's just your mind telling it a story. So what we have to do is we have to regain control, and we have to calm and soothe our body and say, you're safe. There's nothing trying to kill us. We're okay. It was just my thoughts telling me a little bit of a wild story. So when we can consciously breathe and slow down our central nervous system, we can then get a hold of our anxiety. And then when we're done that, when we're finally calm and we're in our bodies and we're like, we're good, we're safe, then we can address the thoughts that caused the panic in the first place. So those are some great tools that you can use to help you navigate your anxiety and your grief and your fear and whatever is going on in your personal world. And especially with the way the world is right now and with the virus, you know, if you just left a conversation and people are talking about the result of the virus and what's happening to humans, you can come into your car and you can breathe and really center yourself. And when you're breathing, try to really just focus on the air coming in. You're holding it, the air exhaling out. You're not thinking about the conversation as you're breathing. You're just breathing. And that gets you out of the past, the future, and it brings you into this now moment. And as often as you can come back to this now moment, that's when you can really start to navigate life moving forward, because you're moving forward, but you're still like in that present moment, right? So like right now we're in this present moment, but 2 minutes from now, we're going to be in that present moment. So it's silly to think about 2 minutes from now when we should just be appreciating right now. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's start off these morning messages with an excerpt from Heart Thoughts. So I've done this book once, maybe twice before. This is the book where my dad came through. My dad passed away in October, and he came through in a powerful message in another reading or morning messages. This is by Louise Hay, and it's called Heart Thoughts. So let's see what messages we need. Oh, before I start, I am repping an amazing brand. It's called Not the Minority brand. And it's one of my graduates. I taught for 17 years in the classroom. I was health and PE and mostly did nutrition, working out, strength and conditioning classes. And then I moved into meditation and mindfulness in my last 3 years. And I had a graduate who, she's a mom now, she's a business owner, she's crushing life. Her name's Imani. Hi, Imani. And she has the most amazing brand. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to her website. If you want to buy some gear, it's nottheminority.brand.com. And I want to read you what she has on her website. It says, "Not the minority brand. Many sources try to define the word minority, usually narrating these groups in a negative light or categorizing them as less than. However, together we can create a number much larger. Not the minority brand was created in hopes to unite these adverse groups globally." Isn't this so wonderful? "Our goal is to not only succeed with unity, but to also show society we will not be defined. We are and have been greater than anything they came up with." Such a powerful message, right? So that's like her tagline on her website. So go to her website, buy her gear. She's got so many beautiful pieces, and go support her because she's amazing and she has such a sweet heart and I love her to death. I love you, Imani. All right, so let's see what morning messages we get with me rocking this shirt in good energy, feeling good. What can we bring to you on your computer, on your phone, on your TV? Oh, how perfect. It says, my body, mind, and spirit are a healthy team. The body is always talking to you. What do you do when you get a message from the body, such as a little ache or pain? Side note, I think this is perfect because we started off with breathing and talking about the body and anxiety. Okay, usually we run to the medicine cabinet or the drugstore and take a pill. In effect, you say to the body, "Shut up, I don't want to hear you. Don't talk to me." That's us numbing, right? That is not loving the body. When you get the first ache or pain or the slightest thing seems to go wrong, sit down, close your eyes, and very quickly ask yourself, what is it I need to know? Listen a few minutes for the answer. It may be as simple as get some sleep. Or it may be stronger. If you want your body to work well for you for a long time, then you need to be a part of the body, mind, and spirit healing team. And on the left side, there's always like a left side quote. Good health is having no fatigue, having a good appetite, going to sleep, and awakening easily, having a good memory, having good humor, having precision in thought and action, and being honest, humble, grateful, and loving. How healthy are you? And I love this so much because I think it was in one of my readings about relationships, and we were talking about like when you're in a partnership and you're just, something's off, right? You have to ask yourself what's missing. And I feel like with this, we're identifying how we should be feeling in our bodies, how we should be performing, what it looks like, what's missing, what are we not doing? And by numbing and taking medicine and drinking tons of coffee and alcohol and candy and processed foods, that's all what not to do, but nobody really lays out how our bodies should be functioning. And this is awesome. Having no fatigue, having a good appetite, going to sleep, awakening easily. That's a huge one. I know a lot of people that just don't want to get out of bed every single morning. All they want to do is sleep. And I was a huge sleeper through college and high school. And high school is, that's understandable because we're growing, we're developing, we need that time to sleep. But as you get older, I realized in my 20s, why am I napping all the time? This is not normal. And then what I realized was for my personal body, gluten and dairy, and mostly, processed foods, if I eat gluten or dairy within hours, I literally cannot keep my eyes open wherever I am. It's like a light switch. It's like I am just fully exhausted. And I remember playing sports in high school, and every day I'd go to practice, to field hockey, basketball practice after school. And I just felt like I had those like heavy legs where it's like, oh, I got to walk to the fields. Like it was exhausting. And it's because I was eating a cheese sandwich. I would eat 4 slices of American cheese on a Kaiser roll with pretzels and a diet cherry Coke every day for lunch in high school. I was that structured kid who ate the same meal every single day, and I kind of still do it. But it's wild how I was eating gluten in the bread, dairy in the cheese, more gluten in the pretzels, and then toxic aspartame and chemicals in the diet cherry Pepsi. So I was getting zero fuel, and no wonder why I was exhausted. And right now I'm like always like, man, I wish I would have known how to eat better through high school. I could have performed so much better in all of my sports. So that is why I actually got into teaching nutrition for as long as I did. I loved teaching kids to give up dairy, give up gluten. It also can be the cause of your anxiety, but your body will talk to you. The fact that my legs were tired every day, that was like a ding, 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 Michelle, something's wrong. And this book is so cool how it lays out what should be happening, what should be like, you should be waking up feeling so good. And the reason why I was napping all the time and never wanted to get out of bed in the morning is because I had these chemicals in my body. So I encourage you all to take a look at your diet and take a look at your habits. If you're not doing these, if you don't have a good memory, if you're not having good humor throughout the day, having precision in thought and action, gluten, dairy, sugar, and processed foods all make you have brain fog, which is you're just not seeing clearly or thinking clearly. You jumble up your words a lot. It's just foggy. It's like hard to describe. You're always being honest and humble and grateful. Grateful is a big one. If you are filled with chemicals, it's really hard to find gratitude and to feel joy in the present moment because you physically feel tired, exhausted, foggy. So it's almost impossible to put yourself in a gratitude state when you're feeling that way. And then you're watching my videos or other people who are super upbeat and positive and grateful all the time. And you're like, that pisses me off. Why is it so easy for them? Well, in reality, it's just the chemicals. It's not your fault. It's the chemicals in your body. It's almost like a blindfold. So the chemicals are blindfolding you from being able to see. And then you're like, you're just not able to see. And with me saying, you should find gratitude, you should find joy. Well, that would be like me saying like, well, you have a blindfold on, but you should be able to see the trees, right? Like, look at the trees. And you're like, I have a blindfold on, I can't. That's the same thing as having chemicals in your body and not being able to find gratitude or joy. So if you're looking at people that have immense gratitude in their life and they're very happy all the time, most likely it's because their body is clear. And when we're clear, that's our natural state. Our natural state is joy and love and happiness and excitement, because the chemicals are literally manipulating your brain and sending messages to your body to tell you to be uncomfortable. And it's not to tell you, but it's just a reaction. You're not going to feel good. So number one, this is a great reading and a great message this morning. What you are putting in your body will 100% affect how you show up in the world. And it's a really hard change to make. But if you're willing to make it, I encourage you to go to my Instagram, michelle.thornton11. And I have a bunch of highlights. I've always questioned whether I want to delete them all because they're so like cluttered and I have so many of them. But I find that I'm glad I kept them because I have 3 highlights of all gluten and dairy-free meals and snacks. There's some processed foods in there, but that's okay. If you're first learning to come off of gluten, it's going to be really difficult. I always say just really stick to plants and vegetables and proteins for the first week and detox, and you will most likely get sick. If you're giving up sugar too, you'll get like the sugar flu. So don't confuse it with COVID. But when you give up sugar and processed foods and gluten and dairy, your body has to kind of recalibrate. And in order to recalibrate, it has to purge all the toxins that you've been ingesting. So when you're strictly eating fruits and vegetables and smoothies, I wouldn't quickly go to all gluten-free boxed foods. I would stick to whole foods, salads, chicken, rice, potatoes, all the vegetables you can eat. And all the different kinds of fruits. Pears are really good in the wintertime. If you're watching this in your season, you're in the winter, pears are really good. They're not super, super cold. They're comfort foods. And you can also like warm up some apples with cinnamon. That's always like a good little snack to have. But addressing clearing out the chemicals, understanding that you're probably going to get sick. You might get the flu. Keep giving up the food. Don't think, oh my God, I'm sick, I got to go back to what I was eating. Let your body heal and purge and get rid of the gunk in your body. And then watch. I bet you $1,000 that in 2 weeks, when you give up gluten, dairy, sugar, and processed foods, and you can still have it every once in a while, but just not every day, your anxiety and your fear will drastically dwindle, and your everyday life will be better because you're going to wake up and you're not going to be wanting to go back to bed. You're like, whoa, it's like a really shitty day out. It's rainy and I'm in bed and I'm like ready to get up. This is weird. I know for me, a lot of people always wonder, I go on morning drives as like my meditation. And a lot of times it's really early and people are like, if you have nothing to do, if you're not going to work that day, if it's your day off, why are you getting up so early and getting outside? Why don't you just stay home and cozy up in bed and sleep in? But I don't need to. I'm awake. It's like the day's here. Let's go. Let's get outside. Let's go see some beautiful sunrises. Let's go see the trees. So because of how I eat, that determines how I show up in the world and how I experience my life. So wow. Thank you, Spirit. This was such a good message this morning. My body, mind, and spirit are a healthy team. So it's working together on all fronts. And with your awakening, if you're going through an awakening, I hate to break this to you, but your body will literally give you the worst anxiety for the foods that you should stop eating. So if you're noticing that you like just had Chick-fil-A or something, and you normally are like, I've always eaten Chick-fil-A, I'm fine. And then out of nowhere, you all of a sudden are getting sick or you just don't feel good. You're most likely, your body's opening up and it's expanding and it's wanting you to get rid of some chemicals. And it's saying, stop putting this crap in us because it's hindering your spirit. It's smushing you. It's keeping your spirit clouded. And we need you to be light right now. We need you to be free from the clouds and be shining bright and feeling good in each moment. Okay. All right. So I just heard Light Seers Tarot. So let's see what messages we need from this deck. Oh, that was too many cards. Actually, no, I'm sorry. 3. We'll take them. Ooh, we have 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands, and 6 of Wands. Interesting. I'm going to see it as a progression. 3, 5, 6. I'll put them in order so you guys can see them. So we have 3 of Swords is usually like a breakup, a heartbreak, anxiety, depression, struggle. This girl's just at her wit's end and she's just like, oh, I can't take this another minute. You know, it's like that kind of energy. And then we have 5 of Wands, which it's like you're trying and you keep falling down and it's almost like your patterns and your habits. You almost like you go like a week with eating really, really healthy and then you fall off track. It's like you're reaching to the top and you're almost there and you're so close. So this is a card of keep going, keep trusting, keep giving yourself grace when you fall, because the fall is perfect and it's meant to be, and it's here for you because it's teaching you, oh, wow, this doesn't work, but this does work. Whatever it means in your life, whether you're attempting to start a business and it keeps like you keep getting setbacks, you keep going. And then this is your celebration in the end. And how perfect, it matches my shirt. So Imani, if you're watching, this card is for you. Your success is awaiting. It's here. You're in the spotlight. You're receiving all of your gifts. If you can see, the wand has a wreath on it, which means growth and abundance. And there's a fiery wand. To see the fire at the top, it's like her torch is lit. She's like, yes. She's like, I finally feel fulfilled in my life. I feel passionate about what I'm doing and what I'm creating, the value that I'm adding to the world. She's finally home. She's like, I'm in my mission. So good. And it took a while to get there. It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of pain. It took a lot of struggle, but you made it. And now you can throw these cards out and solely wake up each day, putting good food in your body. You're connected to your body, your mind, your spirit. It's like she's figured it out. She's finally here. She's home in herself and feeling good. Awesome. All right, let's do a universe card. This is from Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back deck. What does the universe want to tell us this morning? Ooh, more orangey cards. I like when Spirit definitely likes to make colors match. It just draws attention to the cards, and it's like telling a story. I've learned that through watching all the readings, through practice, through my own education on how to intuitively read cards. So this one says, when I lean toward love, I am led. And then the other one says, I find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. So this was your discomfort, and you found yourself through it. It's almost like the discomfort led you to your growth. That's where you did all your learning. Your discomfort brought you to your knees so that you could discover your strength and that you can push forward and you can find what is inside of you that has been dying to come out. You finally gave up all the processed food. You finally gave up the toxic people in your life, and you're finally in your body asking yourself, how can I make my experience the best? I am only worried about me, because when I worry about me, it's not selfish. When I worry and when I take care of my mind, body, and spirit, I am adding value to the world. And that's probably the biggest lesson that I learned, is that I always thought it was external. I always thought it was all outside of me. What can I do outside of me? What can I do to help the world? What can I do to help people? But actually, if you're looking to help the world in some way and you feel like you're here for something big, that something big is you. It's you loving you, you figuring out what food your body needs, you figuring out, oh, when I'm sad, how can I nurture myself? Oh, what are my patterns from my childhood that I want to clear? How can I forgive myself and see that those patterns were developed because it's something I witnessed in childhood, and now I don't have to attach to it. Now I can forgive myself and all of my past decisions and say, oh my gosh, I did that, and that because of what I learned in childhood, and that's no longer me. I'm not still that girl or guy. I have grown. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So your awakening, your grief, your breakup, your life changes that you're going through right now, you're finding meaning through it. You're finding you. And then it says, when I lean toward love, I am led. And that's the forgiveness piece. You're learning to, when you're choosing love over fear, you're choosing to forgive. You're choosing, sorry, my heater is just about to go on. You're choosing compassion for all human beings. So like I just talked about, you're finding compassion for you because you're not blaming yourself for past choices. You know, there's so many things you could have done in your life that you have shame about, or you've hurt somebody and you feel guilty, or maybe you feel like you're always letting people walk all over you and take advantage of you, or you're repeating patterns and you're like, why do I keep doing this? Forgive yourself, lead with love, lean into it. Say, I didn't know better. These were patterns that I developed in childhood because I was just surviving. And now that I can see why, I can connect the dots on, oh, I keep attracting men that cheat on me because I never really felt my worth as a kid. Nobody ever told me I deserved better. Nobody ever showed me what true partnership and true love is. So I don't know what it looks like. So as an adult, how do I know how to attract it if I don't even know what it looks like? And then you can forgive that girl that keeps attracting the guy that's cheating on her. And you can stop the cycle and say, I'm finally here. I'm aware now. I'm awake. I am different. And it's really simple. It starts with just changing your patterns today. So in this now moment, because we're in the present moment and we're not going to think about repeating the past or what's coming in the future, when a new person approaches you and you start to see a pattern in them, ask yourself, what's missing? Is this person giving me what I deserve? And if it's missing, you say bye and you move on. And that is you being different. You're no longer repeating that cycle of just staying with somebody because you're fearing being alone. So all of your heartbreaks, everyone that's ever cheated on you, the people that you stayed with, that you nurtured and nurtured and nurtured, and they never gave back to you, you were allowing that, and you have to forgive yourself because you just didn't know better. But now that you know better, you can do better, and you will no longer suffer because you're going to see the red flags when you meet the next person that you attract. And also when you change these patterns, you're not going to attract the same people. And if you do, it's the universe testing you, saying like, hey, are you going to keep entertaining this toxic behavior? Or are you going to say, no, thank you. I'm okay on my own. I'm going to be patient and wait for what I deserve. I'm not just going to go with this toxicity because I'm scared to be alone. Because this girl is not scared to be alone. She is actually thriving because she knows she has the universe. She is really, none of us are ever alone. It's just our ego that tells us that to keep us sad. You know, if you don't have family that supports you, that's okay. Guess what? You probably have like a soul tribe out there of random people that send you love, right? And if you don't, lean into the love you have for yourself. You're enduring something without support, and that's something honorable. That's something that you can be really proud of, to say like, I did it, and I did it without the support of my parents or my siblings or, you know, whoever it is. We're never truly alone. And if you cut, these cards are all, sorry, I just totally stopped my train of thought there, but I'm just looking at the colors. Look at all the orange. How perfect is it with the shirt that I'm wearing today? So maybe this reading is for my sweet graduate. Maybe this is all for her. I hope she's watching. All right, let's do some more cards, yeah? Okay, prayer cards. And then we're gonna do everyday miracles next. I gotta set a timer to see how long I've been going. I wanna try and keep these under 30 minutes. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying this. Okay, it says work. I'll read it to you. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. How perfect. That's what she represents. She's saying, use me. I'm here. I'm in the spotlight. You know, I'm not here for my ego to be seen. I'm here to serve. I'm here to be used for good. I want to shine my light. I finally feel clear and whole, and I love myself, and I don't need anybody to love me, but it's a bonus. It's a cherry on top to be loved. But you work with the universe asking, how can you use me? How can you change me into a woman who will know how to serve the world best? Okay, quick sip of my coffee. And then we're gonna do the everyday miracles. Let's end this reading with a beautiful message. Today belongs to love, let me not fear. And the back says, if you knew who walks beside you on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible. Again, if you knew who walks beside you, that's this. The universe walks beside you, your angels, your guides. You're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you're not alone. And here's the back. Today belongs to love, let me not fear. So when you are in that present moment, right, that we talked about before, after we take our breaths, we calm ourselves down, we get out of the future thoughts, we get out of the past repeating itself, we nurture ourselves in that moment, and we say, okay, this is me, this is where I'm at, I love myself, I'm grateful for all that I have, I am choosing love, I'm leaning into love. If you choose fear, then you're in the past or the future. So when you're in your fear, you're always in the future or the past because you're worrying about what's coming or what's going to repeat itself. So being in the present, you kind of all the fear dissipates, and you're just in this gratitude. And again, with the gratitude and the appreciation for life, you have to have a clear mind. Your body needs to be clear, and your gut is your second brain. So the food that you're putting into your body is directly correlated to your serotonin levels, which is your happy hormone. And it makes you feel good. So if you're just stuffing a bunch of chemicals into your body, your serotonin levels are probably so low. So it's so hard for you to get to the space of, I'm in the present moment. How do I find happiness if I have no hormone helping me find it? And that's why it's so easy to stay in the fear in the present moment, because we're clouded and we don't feel good. So a huge piece of these morning messages was, you're not alone. You've been through tough times, and sometimes the tough times drop us to our knees, and they force us to change our diet and to fall down and to get back up and to keep going. And it could be diet related, it could be business related, it could be relationship related. Whatever you're thinking of right now when I'm speaking to you is relating to you. These messages are universal. They're not meant for just one person. These messages could resonate with 10 different people. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Then this little segment right now might not be for you, but maybe the first 15 minutes of this video was for you. And that's all you needed. And then you can swipe out and be good. So sometimes not every message is going to resonate, but think about it. If it's your diet, if it's your habits, your career, love, you've been through tough times to help you see clearly, to make change so that you can find deeper meaning amidst the discomfort. And I talked about that. I just posted a video this morning, a clip from one of my other videos about depression and anxiety and how there's a season for it. It shows up in our lives to teach us how to break free from it. And essentially, we're connecting back to us. We're connecting back to our bodies, because our bodies, as much as I always say, we are not our bodies, we're a soul here for an experience. If we don't take care of our bodies, our soul can't do that. We can't do our mission. So our bodies are everything. It is, honestly, for me, and I always share my personal experiences in hopes that it helps you, I live from my body. If I go somewhere and something doesn't feel right, I leave. If I'm eating something and it doesn't feel right, I adjust it. If I'm on the couch and feeling something, I'm pausing and saying, all right, Michelle, why is this here? Oh, crap, I've been procrastinating. I got to send that email, and I'll go get my computer and I'll send the email. There's no waiting around in my mind. And some days I just don't feel like doing it, and I honor that too. I know in my 17 years of teaching, I took off so much. I was always calling out and I thought it was bad. I thought I was a bad person, but I didn't know, this was before my awakening. I didn't know, like, that was me honoring my body. My body didn't feel right that day. It said, don't go, you need to do some grieving today. And I'd been through a lot in my life. So I was beating myself up for taking off from school, but then I wasn't realizing that I was actually honoring my body and I was loving myself by doing that. But I was never allowing myself to feel the love. I would take off and then I would stay home and feel somewhat good about not being where I didn't want to go. But yet then my voice would kick in and say, you should have taken off. You're such a horrible teacher. They're going to think that you're not a good employee. But all that time I was honoring this, because I should have been listening to this and not letting my mind get in the way of telling me that, I shouldn't be following it, because your body is everything. So to finish off this, honor your body. It talks to you. It tells you everything. Start living each moment from here. And that starts with what you put in it, because if you can clear it from any kind of toxic chemicals or anything, you're going to be able to listen so clearly. You're going to know that your anxiety is actually you procrastinating on something, and maybe not just the chemicals in your body. Like, how can you discern between the two if you're clouded? So let's clear the clouded, the fogginess. Let's put good food in our body, and let's connect back to what it is our body is trying to tell us, so that we can be living this fulfilled, happy life of service to our planet. All right, lovies, I feel like that's all for today. I think tomorrow's Sunday. So I think I'm going to do all of the signs tomorrow. I'm going to do an energy report for next week for the air signs, water signs, earth signs, and fire signs. So look for that tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll do a morning message. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it 7 days a week. That's kind of a lot. Even though I really enjoy doing this, I might switch it up and do some evenings because I kind of like having the day happen and then we sit down and kind of recap the day. So we'll see. I'm just going to go with my intuition and see what unfolds. But thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you're liking these videos. If anything resonates with you, please let me know because it encourages me to keep putting these videos out. And the more we like it, the more, airtime it gets. Hopefully it spreads around to other people that might need these messages. All right. Have a wonderful Saturday, lovies. Bye.